The ideas of the festival came in not too long after I came in here. I came in here, I looked at this place, I thought it's so beautiful. But I felt like there was something missing. I felt like, wow, I think somebody could have a beautiful open air concert here. And I used to make a joke. And I said that if Woodstock can take place on a cornfield, because everybody in the world now know what Woodstock, but before the concert, it was a simple cornfield. And I used to make a joke and say that here, we don't have a cornfield, we have apple field and cherry fields. Isn't that sweeter than corn? The concept of the festival is by way of a gift to my daughter, who was an Afro-Deutscher. I thought that the best gift one could give a child is a gift of culture. And why blues? Because blues is one of the most essential form of contemporary black music if you consider its influence in reggae, soul, R&B, jazz itself. So to speak, it is an inclusive blues music concept. So we don't just do Blues Brothers stuff with the sunglasses and the hats and so on and so forth, but that blues that you feel, I feel, and the people who are going to go see it also can feel. We said, okay, what has to happen is to create a simple concept where at least the blues would be presented in its many different formats, but as raw as possible, but bring it as close as possible to the roots of the blues. Well, the pick for this year was very interesting because we have a donor shop here called Fleur Earth Experiment in Steinkirchen. Last year they were very helpful in helping me promote the festival by putting flyers and posters and so on and so forth, but nobody came. Not one of them. At the end of the concert, after I came, I asked the guy, why is it that none of you guys came? He could not answer the question. And I told him, Mehmet, what do I need to do next year for you guys to come? He said, there is Sivan Perwer. If you bring him, we come. I researched Sivan Perwer. It turns out that, wow, even if he didn't tell me about Sivan, if I saw Sivan, I would want to bring him. This is a multicultural, inclusive blues festival. And then we pull in our special guest. I call it special guest because Sivan Perwer is from Turkey. He's Kurd. He's the most famous Kurdish musiker. So simple. But Sivan fits the profile of one has to have the blues to sing the blues that I mentioned earlier from Sun House. He sings the blues of the Kurdish people. Big Daddy Wilson is there to represent the African-American aspect of this festival, of the blues. Without them, this festival would not take place. He also translates my experience in America that brought me here. What is special about the Afropean act in FEX or Fleur Earth Experiment is that Fleur Earth Experiments have managed to use Wolfgang Goethe's Sprache or the Deutsch and lay it on the bed of authentic black music. I feel to a certain degree FEX actually is closer to the whole Afropean experience or the Afropean ideal that we're trying to sell here, which is to espouse all the different elements of their culture. They are black, they play black music, they happen to be Deutsche, they sing in Deutsch and in good Deutsch. So that is this year's experience. For the blues, rivers are everything. If one is to be honest about the history of the blues, yes, you will accept that it is from Africa, but you will also accept that that is in America that it was given the shape that it is in. The history is guns simple. Slavery, cotton fields, or any other fields as a matter of fact. And these fields, they were primarily concentrated in the Delta, in the Mississippi Delta. In the Mississippi Delta, one has to understand that the only way out of the Delta also is the river. We are sitting right here by the Elbe. There has been flood here in Altenland. Those floods brought a lot of blues into this area. Just imagine if these dice were not here. Altenland will never be the fruit basket of Europe, if you really put it into perspective. So the Deich is quite crucial. Today, the blues is no longer, let's say, an affair of farmers. You have guys from corporate towers jumping from the windows down to the ground because their blues became so bad that living was no longer worth it. The blues will always be relevant because as human beings, we know how to hurt ourselves and each other. As human beings, we know how to put ourselves in a jam. There's a transcendence of the sadness during the performance, and that's what makes a lot of performance actually as powerful as they are. It's like, wow, you live, you survive to stand here and turn it into such a beautiful flower. That is a sadness. The blues, it is a sadness that bloomed into a flower. I think this is a perfect moment to pull out some richtig, some good blues act out, because they have an axe to grind, as you would say. The axe to grind is more relevant today than any other time, but unfortunately, it is a corporate problem. Corporatized music industry, the death of indies, and all the indies who do that do not have the means to bring the act mainstream. That's the problem. When you look at the blues of Deich, when you look at the style and all that stuff, that is a legacy that I got from Chris Blackwell, the founder of Island Record and many other record companies. Chris was a mentor to me, and because of him, I would rather not do anything if I have to do it halfway. When I work with Chris Blackwell, he tell me do what you want to do. When I work with Bill, it was the same, and that's what I'm doing right now. That's why I've established Southway Record right here in Altenland. Southway Media and Southway Record. In Germany, there is a lot of blues. You have pioneers here. One of them is Harvey Wallenstein. And I call him a pioneer because when you say, oh, who plays blues here? People would have any clue, inkling about the blues. That's one of the first names that they pull out, at least in this area here. Unfortunately, a lot of effort has not been made to get the public to understand the full spectrum of what the blues is. That's the reason why when I say I want to do the blues festival, people say, Diabel, you crazy. Blues? But after they came to the concert, or after we really pushed the whole concept and the ideas and stuff, they say, this is quite interesting. I wasn't sure. We have a cousin here who lives in Beckdorf. Pure Platt, 100% Platt. He said, Diabel, I have to be honest that I had to come, that's why I came, but I really didn't know what to expect. But that was class. I said, okay, now we're talking.